Marquadius Ishmael Johnson.
She asked me what I'm doing, I'm just vibing.
Make sure like, comment, subscribe if you're new. YouTube, it's your boy Oli and I'm back again with yet another YouTube video, man. Not just a YouTube video, but a YouTube banger. Now this video, chat, we got South Africa school rugby as well. That's here the title, I can read it for yourselves. But we got the PaarL Derby. I don't know much about it, but my dog man put me on a live video. I ain't gonna waste much more time, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Comment your favorite fruit. And without further ado, let's watch some YouTube, chat. It's not like typical highlights, but low-key very interesting. Hey, if it's interesting to you, it's interesting to me. I'm always down to watch it.
You'll know if you
always down to watch something new.
I recently returned from my first ever trip to South Africa. And yeah, I went there for the Ireland versus the Bok test matches.
Right.
But I also went there to try and understand and get an insight on the engine that has driven that country to 4 world titles. So I went to Craven Week, which that was pretty revealing, wasn't it? If you haven't seen the video from that.
These are the tall schoolboys.
I went to Offie
School. No, that little the white dude in the middle, like he's 6'7", about 6'7", 6'8".
In KwaZulu-Natal. But I know I only scratched the surface. So on this video, I'm going to take you somewhere else. Because I know that in 2025, where I want to be, in the first week of August, is in PaarL. Because
first week of August. Yeah, that's my birthday week too, chat. My birthday the first week of August.
Is a game that is happening between 2 local rival schools. In fact, it's the biggest schools match in the world.
In the world? If it's the biggest, I'm gonna have to make a trip out there one year, chat.
He's been kind enough to let me have access to his footage.
Oh, this camera angle. Oh, see, this is an on-field camera angle.
Springboks and former pupils of the schools, former PaarL Boys High captain Corne Krieker, and former PaarL gym player and Springbok as well, Cobus Visa. I'm going to reveal the secret and the story behind one of the biggest matches in South Africa that is pretty much unknown around the rest of the world.
One guy made a statement, he says, inter-schools in PaarL is not a matter of life and death, it's actually far more important than that.
These are far more important than life and death. What's more important than living?
On Saturday, 25,000 people will arrive and watch 4 games on the main field. And it's just an incredible rivalry.
35 caps in 4 years? That's tough.
They both in the same town. You know, if you look at the Great Bloem, which is one of our most decorated schools in the country, they're in Bloemfontein and they have to play inter-schools against different teams in different towns in different provinces. Whereas we live very close to our biggest rival, PaarL gym.
They're literally 2 blocks away.
Other games in any
what kind of beef is this?
The first weekend.
You can literally do a drive-by on a bicycle to your opposite block.
Worldwide, school-wide, it's unofficially regarded as the biggest inter-schools in the world. For example, on a Saturday, the record number of people attending the main matches on the Saturday in PaarL was 32,000 people, which is amazing. And
that's a lot of people. That's more than some football stadiums.
It's actually over 100 years old. I think they've been playing since, and I'm under correction, 1888. The first game they played, and can you believe it, Tim, that those first couple of years, the teachers and the school boys played jointly together in the same team.
What?
For a couple of years.
The teachers and the players played together?
For the school boys under
You just sound on max? No. You want to turn it up?
Then became official inter-school. So it's been going for a while, and I think what
is that better?
Special is the fact
that better?
That in this 125
Too loud?
official games thus far, the margin, the average margin between these 2 schools is only 5
Can you hear
points,
it?
which is amazing.
Yeah, the average winning margin over 100 years is 5 points. Over the last 10 years of matches, the aggregate score is PaarL gym by a single point. These are tight and they're tense. And they're played out.
These camera angles super
tight. Of tens of thousands of people.
That's good. All right, bet.
Passionate locals.
Sometimes when I'm reacting to the videos, like the background music be too high, so like I have to turn the sound down before I can react to it. I don't got the best mic in the world, not yet. I gotta keep upgrading.
Everything defies this town of PaarL. It splits in 2. And it's not only on the day term, it starts building up 2 weeks beforehand. with sing-songs and old boys coming from the UK, from the United States, from all over the world to attend this, and all these old boy games and old boy gatherings, and you can imagine the lemonade is flowing vividly, and the guys are catching what we call gees in English, spirit.
I was going to say, you lost me on that one, buddy. I'm glad you translated.
In the middle, you're either PaarL boys or you're either PaarL Jim. There's no in between. There's
Look
no
at this sun.
And even
This South African sun, like, this sun might give you the best vitamin D you ever had. What vitamin the sun give you? Vitamin D, right? I don't want to sound sus when I say it. Like, what nutrients does vitamin the sun give you when you sit in the sun? I don't be getting it because I sit in the house all day, but shit. This is like some premium vitamin D right here.
The best of friends, neighbors, if they're from different sides of the fence, they don't talk for 2 weeks until after. But the great thing,
And that's some crazy beef.
I said it to the boys as well.
You don't talk for 2 weeks to your own
PaarL
buddy.
Jim and PaarL boys,
That's like when it's your girl or something. Like, you want to fight them for a second.
and very unique is the more important
Let's
thing.
scoot over here a
as
little
they
bit.
create young men and women that will leave school with and become better human beings and contribute to
That's
society
real, though.
because of sport,
That's real.
because of the great game of rugby, netball, soccer, hockey, chess. They play everything.
The rivalry is massive.
That's facts though. Like, I feel like as athletes, like if you are raised in a sport, you're taught a lot of things that a normal person isn't taught. So like when you get older, just by playing a sport, you don't even gotta be good at the sport. Like just by playing and participating in it, and if you actually take and apply what you learn in that sport to real life, it will take you a lot farther than where a normal person would go because you already have the foundation, you already have the principles, you already have discipline, you have the hard work, you have the ethic. It's all about just applying. If you apply it right, bro, you can really far in life if you have that background of being an athlete. That's true. That's very true.
So it started with inter-school swimming earlier in the year, which PaarL Boys I won. There was inter-schools cricket, which PaarL Boys I won. Inter-schools golf on Monday. So on Monday, the two golf teams, the 3 or 4 golf teams played against each other, which PaarL Boys I won. So PaarL Boys I has been doing really well. But everybody knows, there's lots of games from tomorrow. There's lots of rugby games.
Participation is key. Not facts.
But to be honest, there's
Now, if you're on the sideline just watching,
19As at
you do not get the same experience.
Saturday afternoon, and that's where it all
If we just over the horse playing
Now,
around
PaarL
and
has the
shit, not even
longest
paying attention to what's
main road
going on,
in all of South Africa.
I'm
It's
not
8
talking
miles
about
long,
you.
Nearly 13 kilometres, and it's so straight because it used to be the road that wagons would go on if they were travelling from south to the north. And that road splits the town in two. To the north, the PaarL Gym side with their colours of maroon.
That's W mascot.
yellow,
Hold on.
And of green.
Let me hold that
South,
mascot.
PaarL Boys High, who wear white and those 2 shades of blue. And the town stops down for an annual and an historic occasion, and roughly 10% of the population of the city will be
Dang.
at that stadium on
Are
Saturday.
they rushing
for the
them?
match.
If I'm a
And
player, I'm
anyone
getting
who
out of there.
wanted to go,
If I'm a player, I'm running the opposite way.
Probably double
I'm running
that.
all the way back to the locker room.
Fiercely
They're not catching me. As soon as the game over, I'm running.
And it's a
Before you even blow the
vital
last
thing.
whistle.
It defines the bragging rights for this town for the next year until the next inter-schools, whether you win or lose. It's as simple as that. And you remember your year or years at these two schools. The only question they ask you is, did you win inter-schools? It's as simple as that. But, and the point you've made, and that's what makes us even more special. And I said it to the
Look at the
boys
expression
this
on
morning.
their faces.
PaarL Boys and PaarL Gym.
That's how you can tell it's a real rivalry match. Like this fan right here look heartbroken. Like it look like how am I gonna tell my family? Like how am I gonna go back to school the next day? Like this is real passion. But when I was playing rugby my senior year, I was playing with people who didn't care if they won or lost. Like it's a different feeling when you're playing with people that care about the game as much as you do, versus when you're playing with people that only want to be there, that don't even want to be there, just there to be there. Like I hate playing with people that just want to be there. Like if you don't want to be here, like say you have to sacrifice something to play the game. Like say you have to sacrifice time, like 3-4 hours a day come to practice. Oh, I hate practice. But when the game comes, you love doing the game, but you suck. You suck during the game. You know why? Because you don't practice. But you know why you don't practice good? Because you hate practice. Bro, if you love the game, you're gonna love practicing it. You're gonna love studying it. Like I love watching rugby. Who do you know is reacting to watching rugby, chat? Come on now. I'm one of the first people to do this, and I love it. I just gotta love it, bro. Like I can watch rugby videos all day and never get tired of it. I might get hungry. I might get tired physically because I need a nap or some shit, but I can watch videos all day, chat. Like this shit never get tired of me. That's the moral of the story is Love what you do. Do what you love. Don't let it control you, chat. Don't let the world control you,
I said
chat.
to the boys this morning, PaarL boys and
But
PaarL
like
Gym
the passion
are where
behind
they
it,
are
this what made the game better.
whole
This will make close
mammoth,
games so much better
thing
because you
about
know
these schools'
everybody put their all
traditions
into
is
it.
because of each other.
If you're on a team
They
and you only
are
have
what
3
they are
good
because
players
of each other.
and you
this
lose every
rivalry
game,
makes both these schools special
how you gonna feel?
and stronger by the year. And
you have
you're
3
right.
good players and 12 ass players on your team. That make no sense. You need some balance.
Until the final was, and of course there's
Request a trade.
jubilation on the
And
one
they respect
side
each other. Like
disappointment on the other.
fake rivalry,
But
they're not
the fact
dapping each
that
other up. They're not gonna high five each other and say
until the
good
next
game.
time, these boys and
Win
girls
or lose,
respect each
like
other.
there's no respect. This is a lot of respect shown right here between the two schools.
Until the next battle.
I love it. I love the tradition right here. I feel like I should have been raised in South Africa. I would have been happy. I'd have been so happy. Bro, I might be sending you down a schoolboy rabbit hole, but Egg Chasers has another video. He mentioned at the start about Craven Week. I heard that, yeah, at the start before he even started talking about this. You got to see that as well. And I'll say no more. I don't care about the rap. Hey, send me on the worst rabbit hole you can, man. I'll sit over here all stream and react to videos.
Leinster,
like just
the
because I
best
want to.
attended club side, I think, in the world. And the average attendance for Leinster this last season, 25,000.
Dang.
The best attended side in South Africa, the Stormers, they play to an average of 22,000.
And this is average.
England, where I am right now, the
like
best
this is not highs or
attended
lows. This
Leicester
is average,
Tigers,
medium,
play to an average
medium.
of 20,000. Professional
20,000
rugby
players.
many of them internationals, playing to fewer people than these schoolboys will run out to in this match.
Crazy.
I was very blessed to represent my country 35 times, and also
Dang, 35 times. That is a blessing.
Two of those 35 games that I started for South Africa, I have lost in a PaarL gym jersey from grade 8 to grade 12 only 3 times,
Dang.
of which one was an inter-schools match. And I say this with a lot of respect and tongue in cheek.
That's crazy.
But those
only losing 3 times in your whole career out of 35 cap matches. That's OZ. That's that line right there is tough.
Springbok jersey bothers me, but not as much as that one I've lost against PaarL boys, 16-15 with an interception tries. I still have nightmares of that game.
He was calling it perfectly, 16-15 with an interception try. He remember that shit to this day. It probably happened 50 years ago.
So I played in, I don't know how your grades work in overseas, but it's called an R grade 11, which used to be standard 9. So it's your second last year of school. I played in the first team, and we had 7 South African schools players in our team. We had a phenomenal team. We really annihilated everybody in the country, from the north to the south.
Damn.
We really were unbeaten.
Talk your shit there. Hold on.
Unbelievable. And PaarL Gym,
Annihilated. That's a different word than beat.
average team.
He didn't just beat them.
And
They annihilated them.
They wrote
Put belt to ass.
PaarL Gym needed a miracle to win this game. But as these derbies are, it's always very tight, and because there's so much pressure, it all depends on who can handle that pressure. And I'll never forget, charge down try in the last 5 minutes, and PaarL Gym won the game, and we were devastated. And I remember
Devastated,
that
chat.
day walking out of the changing room, and I couldn't feel my hands. Literally my hands were numb. I was.
There it is.
You know the pressure.
He not talking about they were sad. He not talking about good game, but they were devastated. Like they just lost the NBA Finals. Like they just got swept 4-0.
25,000 people, as I said, and like you said, for most school kids, they'll never play in front of a bigger crowd ever.
If I could compare something close to test match rugby or international rugby, the pressure.
When they mention players who play for the South African schools team, they're talking about basically the high school Springboks, so under 18s. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
The build up.
So they're not talking about the major league. They're talking about
very, very close.
basically the minors,
As a
the minor
youngster,
league.
where you're still very inexperienced and so forth, and it was unbearable at times. It's not only your own expectations, but you know of 100 years back, 125 years back, there were Oaks wearing that jersey with the same expectations, the same people wanting them to do well, wanting to win, wanting to perform. So the pressure, not only from within the team, but from outside the team, from former pupils, from the public, is massive.
Which in some ways is a good thing, but also in other ways it's sometimes a little bit unfair, you know. So anyway, in my final year at school, I was the captain, and I said to the guys, listen, we need to try and figure this thing out. We need to smile, we need to try and relax. And when we walked out in my second year, we had a very average team. We had lost a few games in the year, and we walked out. We were quite calm, and in the end, we managed to win that game 19-17 by hook or by crook. But it's all about the pressure. It's all about who misses the kick here and who misses it. It's literally it's pretty much like test match rugby.
The match will be televised.
What's going on
There's been
here?
parachute jumps in the build-up to games in the past.
Why are they parachuting in
Flying
this shit?
overhead in formation.
What kind of great entries is this?
Quite often, the
come on,
traditions
over here.
of rugby get overlooked or taken for granted. You'll see rebrands, and you'll see gimmicks, and you'll see efforts to grow the game which want to change it from its foundations. These schools matches, and in particular the PaarL Derby, is like a time capsule. You see traditions that have existed.
These some tall
for the
school
entire
kids, Jack.
length of time that the
They
schools
got
have
off
been
the top
running,
of shit in
the
that
entire
water.
length of time that these
Some of these
fixtures
kids
have
look
been happening.
7,
Relics of
8,
the past
7,
are
9.
held on to and cherished, and it's really amazing to see, and it's a reason why I want to go and see it for myself.
Facts.
Thousands of
This looks
students
unreal.
will be stood together in the stands.
But
in
25,000
uniform,
people though, that's a
performing the
lot
traditional
of
songs
people.
each school.
I can't even handle 200 people. 25,000 is crazy. Was that their national anthem? Their school anthem? Oh, look at the balloon release. Oh, the balloon release is kind of fire. Hold on. They ain't no see with the balloons. This is a whole ceremony
The
out
exhibits
here.
on the field will be fiercely contested.
If you have a terrible season and you lose 70 or 80% of your games and you win inter-schools, you're a great team.
What?
It's the one game.
If you lose 70 or 80% of your games, you shouldn't even be allowed to play in this system. Like, you should be automatically forfeited. That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's a pity match. They let you win on purpose.
It's not fair, that it's judged in that way. But if you win inter-schools, you're a very successful team.
That's crazy. Look how hyped they are. They literally won Game 7 of the NBA Finals by 2 points. Late game free throws. They fouled them at the 2-point line. Get busy then. Hold on. Money nigga who translate all that, but
I've spoken
The Bob
to
is all
the
there?
team,
this is Bob Boy
once
LFC.
before, and I also
I'm not gonna that's the
spoke
OC name.
on Monday morning. They invited
This is
me
Bob
to
LFC. That's not a bad
speak,
name. LFC. You might want to change your name to that.
on Monday morning. So yeah, it was quite an amazing moment to stand in front of 850 boys.
The referee over there looking like freaking Buzz Lightyear.
He's looking very smart, and just to address them and to tell them, this is probably some of the best rugby you'll ever play. You're playing with 15
Heard
of
him.
your best friends.
He in the air, kill him.
Most of you are friends. Whereas if you go professional, you're not always great friends with the person next to you. You tolerate him because it's a professional environment and it's the team and its interests above the
Damn.
ambition. So you tolerate people, but they.
Well, they're crashing out immediately. They ain't wasting no time.
What an honor and a privilege.
As has been mentioned, for most players,
Dive
this
on
is
the
the high
military
point of
style
their
and all
rugby
that.
career, but others will push on to higher honours. PaarL Gym, they can boast Andre Pollard, Scout Berger and Jean de Villiers among the legends, the World Cup winning legends that have pulled on their colours along with Cobus Visa. And up the road is where Franz Muller,
Heard him.
Thomas Dutoy, Evan Ruiz and Salman Murat were schooled. just a few of the recent Springboks from a long line of internationals that have gone to PaarL Boys High School. These are cogs, and South African schools rugby a giant cog in the talent factory.
They're like
that's
it's stiff on
driving
his
South
neck.
African
Like
rugby
his
to
should
the
look
top.
extra
It's scary
stiff.
how much talent walks
What was
around
that?
in this
Oh,
country,
Gino.
unearthed. You know, we see, we look at the Craven Week, which you're very well aware of for schools, schoolboys in this country. You know, the tradition of the Craven Week, the school league. Just in a town like PaarL, the quality of the schools here, Stellenbosch, Cape Town. I'm not even mentioning. You know, I go up to the Orange Free State, the Greys, the Grey PE. Monument in Gauteng, Menlo Park, all these office. These are great schools with great tradition, and the talent coming through. And it just seems that this feeding machine just keeps on pumping out raw talent that wants to be explored and polished. So I'm not worried about the depth in this country. It's scary the kind of depth that's produced in this country. It comes through, and they all just need a opportunity.
Facts.
It is.
He's being on the facts, Jack.
The sad thing to me is that there is so much talent that that talent isn't always nurtured from after school to let's call it professional. And a point in case for that is in the history of South African rugby, I was the only South African schools captain who became a Springbok captain. Now that is, we're talking about hundreds of years, which means it's not a compliment to me, but it shows that there's a gap in the system where we don't really look after the school kids, the really talented kids after school. And so the second person is Salman Murat, who last 2 weeks, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was the captain for the Springboks. He became the second SA Schools captain to become Springbok captain, which is a great thing. And by the way, he is also from PaarL Boys High. So we have one really good statistic that counts in our favour, and it's obviously an honour and a privilege to captain both those teams. But you're right, you know, we churn out a lot of talent, but as a result of that, we also there's a lack of let's call it looking after the players after school. There's a big gap there.
So yeah, it's safe to say that the PaarL Derby is on my list for 2025. So is going to Stellenbosch University. I've heard a game there is great. Grey College against Paul Ruiz as well. All rugby pilgrimages that I've still got to experience.
That's what man was just talking about.
Although you know what?
Great.
I think this is one of those occasions. It is so special to the people of that town, to rugby in South Africa, to the players involved, to all of the old boys, that actually it's probably one of those occasions where, as much as it means everything to everyone involved, just need to take a second to appreciate what an amazing thing it is at all.
I think for a schoolboy, that stage being part of these two schools, that is your pinnacle. Whether it's on the rugby field, the hockey field, the netball field, to walk out there, wear your school colours, and realize this is what you've been training for. This is what you wanted to achieve, and you've done all the hard work, and now it's in the next 75 minutes or whatever, you know, you will determine whether that was worthwhile and whether you walk off the field for the next year to have done justice to every guy that wore that jersey before you for over 125 years. And believe me,
I hope they renew jerseys like it's not the same jerseys for 135 years, right? Don't tell me I'm wearing the same jersey a dude wore 135 years ago. Please don't tell me that. I'm gonna start feeling like I'm him or something. I might feel possessed or something. Like I might not feel myself.
If you walk into PaarL Boys High tomorrow morning and people are sitting around, they'll all stand up when you walk past. They'll all greet you. There's some seriously good traditions that have stayed. You know, greeting somebody when a woman walks into a room, you stand up. All those basic principles.
You got dreadlocks?
That most people have forgotten.
Oh, you gotta be like me. You're not getting on my level for 3 years, buddy.
In these two schools, you know.
No, don't worry. He ain't the same jersey every year. Oh, shoot.
Discipline.
Yeah. The Caribbean Week video gotta be reacted to next. Just as in saying that whole thing. I'll say no more. He probably meant same number. That makes sense. Because you can only reach the same number. That'll
we
make
pride
more
ourselves in the
sense.
fact that that's who we are, and that's those traditions will never go away if the old boys can do anything about it. So the old boys are very involved. They try and do as much as they can for the school. They always come back every year. So there's a first year. Your first reunion is the 5-year, then the 10-year, and you'll find tomorrow night there's a big brag. They call it the big brag. About 600-700 men coming together who haven't seen each other for years, and I think last year the oldest reunion group was 50 years out of matric, and I think there were about 12 or 14 of them.
Damn.
So those traditions are just incredible. Where it's a massive privilege to be part of, such a bigger, let's call it a bigger family.
I'm sober.
If you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you would help spread the video.
That was a W video, chat. It was very informational. I learned a lot. I'm learning something new about rugby every single day. If y'all enjoyed that video, I want to see more like that, drop down in the comment section. While you're doing that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, comment your favorite fruit, and without further ado, goodbye, you too.